Once again, we're asked to sketch a graph of a linear equation. Before, what we needed to do in order to sketch a graph was plug in points for x, get our y values. We would have a ordered pair and then plot those points. Because remember, a line is just made up of the ordered pairs that satisfy a given equation. So we would have to look for pairs x and y that make this equation true, plot those ordered pairs, and we would have our line. But we now know a particular type of linear equation, and that is when it is in slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is a linear equation that is in the form y equal to mx plus b. So when you have a linear equation where you have y solved, and you have your x and your other variable x and your constants on the other side, then you have an equation that is in slope-intercept form, which means we can immediately look at our equation and determine the slope, determine the y-intercept, and then we can actually graph the line pretty quick. So in this particular example, my slope is negative 2/3. Negative 2/3, and that tells me the relationship between points on this line. So from one point to the next, I'm going to be having a rise over run of -2 and 3. So that is going to tell me how I'm going to move from one point to the next. The other piece of information that we're going to use is this +4, which we know is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 4. And that's what this tells you. Whatever the m is, the number in front of the x, that's going to be our slope. And whatever this b is, the point 0, b will be our y-intercept. So we can start at the point 0, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That point 0, 4 will be on this line. Now we know that the slope, or we can look at the equation, see that the slope is negative 2/3. That tells us if I go down 2 and then to the right 3, having a rise of -2, so in this case my rise is -2, my run is 3, so I'll be going down 2 over 3, and if you do that, you'll go down 2 over 1, 2, 3. Right here is going to be another point on the line. Down 2 over 3, that's another point on the line. We can even do that again. We can go down 2 over 3, and we have another point on the line right there. And now we have enough points to connect, and we actually only needed 2 points, but I wanted to get a clearer picture of what the line looked like. We can connect them, make sure we have arrows at the end, and we have a graph. We sketched a graph of -2/3 x plus 4. This was a lot quicker than plugging in values for x and solving for y, because we were able to determine what the y-intercept was immediately, so at one point on the line, and the slope tells us how we move on that line. So it was very easy to sketch a graph using our knowledge of slope-intercept form.